real authentic door. I think the door's made of like wood and glass. If I'm gonna be honest, nothing crazy. Alright, what else are you guys talking about? What's outside the window? What type of building is this? It's just a, you know what? Maybe I can show you guys this. The building looks like. I can show you guys what the building looks like. Hang on. I'm gonna do this super quick. This is what my building looks like that I cast on. This is the building, basically. That's the building. It's basically like an office center, and I'm on the top right side on the 3rd floor or something. But that's the building I cast from. There you go. A little sneak peek for you guys of what it looks like. It's just an office building that I can cast from basically and stuff like that. Cool setup. The actual cast looks professional. Yeah, I think it looks, you know, it's a good background, right? That's the thing. Like, just having the space to have like a proper background and so on goes a long, long way to helping out and just making it look good, right? You know, all it needs is like a bit of space to set up some posters or some screens, and then it looks much better than just, you know, having a bed in the background and so on. But obviously, to be able to kind of put a position up where the background is just a blank wall, you need kind of like an empty room because you need space behind you, right? So it's pretty sick. It's pretty cool. All right, so with that said, let's start introducing the players. To the bottom right-hand side, I believe across from his Imber is Hellraiser. He is going into this as the lone remaining Pros player left in this event. And he's playing against the Red Zerg to the top left-hand side. It is Prophecy Esports Reynor. Yeah, I pay about $500 a week, a month for this. It's pretty reasonable, honestly. Considering, okay, put it this way, I don't have to pay for any electricity. So everything is included, including electricity, heating, yada yada yada. It means I can run my lights 24/7. It means I can run the studio lights, whatever, no issues. I have business line internet, so I have pretty much better internet than I could get anywhere else in the UK. And that alone is worth paying a bit of money for, honestly. So when you add it all up, honestly, it's really not that expensive. Like, it seems like a lot for just one room, but it's pretty reasonable. It's definitely worth the cost for what I get out of it. The other option would be to move out, which I just can't really, like, move out and, like, have a space wherever I move into at home to work from, but that just really isn't something I can afford right now, I don't think. So, yeah. Anyways, there you go. There's hopefully all the questions answered. If you got more, ask me the next time we have some downtime, because I don't mind talking about it, but we got a game to cast here, as we might be able to see. Whoa, there's a Depth Shades over here. Obviously feels he can get a drone or two. I mean, there's one, and he will target a second, but it gets away to the right-hand side. So he is able to stay alive for now. Couple of things coming down the right side as we see this Dark Shrine setup. So going to be the Archon Dropsy in the early stages of our first game here today. So going to be seeing this robot facility finishing and 3 extra gates coming down. So Archon drops initially, and well, Reynor already started morph in the lair over on the 3rd hatch. He did actually take that hatch over to first, but on the 3rd base. It's very natural coming up now as well. And yeah, continue to set up and continue to get going. As you see, this Warp Prism is on the way out. And we'll be getting across the map shortly to get those DTs warped in and this aggression started. Obviously, Hellraiser wants to slow down the economy of Reynor just a little bit at least, okay? You know, obviously he doesn't want his opponent to just get away with this no issue at all. You're going to see a few Lings starting to split up and go in a few different directions. Warp Prism is continuing to come up towards this top side, and we'll get ready to throw down the DTs. But, well, Laris finished up and Overseer is already morphing, so the thing about DTs is usually you go in and you look to kind of catch the spore, right? But in this case, obviously they can't kill an Overseer unless they become Archons, but then they aren't DTs on the map. Although right now, 4 DTs, Reynor doesn't seem to have enough units to deal with this. He's going to start losing the Queens as well, and these initial DTs are going huge. He loses one of them as the drones fight back. Now we're seeing Lings coming in again, and Hellraiser will lift up once more. Well, 8 workers killed already, a good start just with the Dark Templar. Obviously they can still become Archons. One more gate's coming up. I actually like the idea from Hellraiser. He's saying, okay, well, you know what? The initial startup here did a lot of damage. I already killed 8 workers, and I haven't even brought Archons into play yet. Now he's actually going to have 3 Archons here with a couple of Zealots. And so he's going to keep on forcing units. He's going to go into a big all-in behind it, but an all-in that has a lot of potency with just, again, how much he already slowed Reynor down. Reynor going to have to try and defend this off of 44 workers. Is not going to be pretty at all. It's going to be a little bit tough for him to try and make this happen. That attack's about to start coming on in, so Reynor has to find a way to deal with that. Let's see a few Zerglings. I'll try and get set up. The Hydras are coming in as well. I mean, just dealing with these initial Archons, I think is going to be difficult enough. As we're going to be seeing the Lings and Hydras pushing these Archons away. So Reynor will be able to defend for now, but it was not easy. He is still making a few more units here as we see another warp in of Zealots. A little bit of a Rutling run by now from our Zerg player. Going to go across the map and maybe see just what else he can get done. See if he can get some counter aggression in. So has to make sure he can defend though. Finally adding on a few more Hydralisks, a few more drones, sorry, as well as Hydralisks, obviously. A few extra DTs, a few extra Zealots coming in once again. We're just going to be seeing the extra Archons continue to set up. A few Zealots are here as well, and here we go. Hydras are splitting, Lings are coming down to the south side, and this is the attack from Hellraiser to try and win this game. The Zealots will do a very good job of giving the Archons time to just deal damage, and good micro as well will keep the Archons alive, but Hydras are doing their job as well. That's going to be a dead Archon, I think. No, he lifts it back up. The Prism staying alive is what was impressive there, and that's why he dropped the Archon back down to keep the Prism alive, give the Hydras something else to fire on. War Prism going to come down the right as we are going to see this Nexus starting up on the 3rd base. So he's going to try and transition out of this. To be fair, he kept the economy of his opponent low. And Reynor doesn't have many upgrades, but one thing you have to be scared of is the potential of Reynor just to go across the map and just kind of attack straight in here once again. Spawn Changeling. I love that he's just keeping it here. I mean, I guess nothing else to really do with it, right? Anyways, Ling's going to come across towards the lower left-hand side. We are going to be seeing the little bit of a run by, just sees the 3rd Nexus coming up. I mean, one of the things from Hellraiser, you got to remember these Archons did stay alive, and a lot of kills on some of them, like over 50 kills amongst all the Archons combined here. With already 50 kills on them, you can see how effective they've been, and they will be able to continue trading like that throughout. However, Lurker Den on the way down, I do like that decision. It's something which will go a long way for Reynor to kind of help him out. It will be a transition that is much needed here in the near future for him as well. So, Lurker Den coming through as those Zerglings come up this ramp. They're going to grab themselves a Zealot, and, well, Stalker's filling the hole in the wall right now, and obviously Archons will have a field day with Zerglings. You can see already the Lings have to pull away almost immediately, because that just doesn't quite work out. Now we are going to see some Warp Prism harassment once again here, as we're going to see these 5 Zealots are already coming on into play. Looking to just run by into this mineral line. How much can they get done? Well, there's some units to the left here, and Reynor is very quick to respond. And you can see Hellraiser isn't really able to do much with that at all here. Very quickly goes back to his macroing, which is going to be important because he has this little bit of a run by to deal with too over the next couple of moments. Archons coming forwards and pushing those Zerglings away, and now a big chunk of Hydras actually starting to come down the right hand side, so a lot of these Hydras getting set up and ready to go. Robo Facility on the way down right now as well from Hellraiser on this 3rd base. Extra Zealots just warping in, and, well, he does have Storm as well, so Hellraiser's gotten up to a much stronger army. You gotta remember, so has Reynor. 9 Lurkers, and those Lurkers are not going to be easy to deal with here, especially if they get into a very strong position kind of on a ramp or towards the 3rd base. That kind of forces the fight very quickly. War Prism on the far left. We are going to see Hydras and Lurkers coming down through the center of the map. 4th Nexus will be placed on the bottom left-hand side as well. And those units just going to continue moving on down. Reynor looking to get into a position here to do something a little bit extra. He's setting up to the right-hand side too, but the rocks go down. That's going to block him from attacking in this direction at least already. Now Hellraiser just has to worry about this attack on the left, which is full of Lurkers. But not much other than the Lurkers. Has to be careful to know where those Lurkers are just yet. Lurkers are going to try and cut off units getting towards the 4th base. Oh, the High Templar going to take a bit of a beating, but the first 2 storms did come down. Reynor's broken his way through those rocks here, actually. Now going to start fighting this. He will kill this Hydra. The shield battery cannot out-heal it. The Lings will gain access to the main. I guess the Hydras will pull back. Meanwhile, 4th Nexus in trouble as well. And Hellraiser has to go and deal with this all over the place. A few Zealots warping in as well. Hydra's still going to get this base here. But that's something which is not the end of the world. It's actually a pretty good defense. Only 4 workers going down. I like this. Zealots left over on this side to fight these Hydras, although they're not being paid attention to. And they should be all charging in together. In which case, they would have had a bit of a better time here. As Reynor maxed out. Let's see if you can keep on. Oh, Hellraiser! No. You cannot find that many lurkers in a concave like this, unless you're. Is he really? I mean, he's going to try and hit the High Templar Storms, but I mean, I don't think it's going to work. I mean, he's going to go for it. It really looks like he wants to. He's going to warp in DTs because there isn't actually detection here, and you know what? These DTs will start to swipe away, and they will force the Unburrow. And Hellraiser's already moving forward to take advantage of that. There's going to be a bunch of those lurkers going down. That was a great warp in the DTs. Obviously, great identification of just realizing, oh, wow, there is no detection here. Boom, just like that takes advantage of it. As we see this warp gate getting picked off. And the Zealots locked on Sun High Templar will come on over to this right-hand side once again. Hunt down those Hydras and look to see what else they can do. +2 missile attack on the way from Reynor in the main base. Pneumatized Carapace is on the way up as well. Warp Prism on the way out. And just going to see those Hydras moving around, still just escaping away. Reynor's so good at keeping 2 of these armies on the map at the same time and just keeping his opponent busy as well as we go. Going to be seeing these units moving down the left, Hydras as well. Down the right, +2 missile attacks moving along. Lings are going to be able to pick away at these probes quickly, easily. Nice little run by once again. Reynor will actually get himself in a great position over here. These High Templar don't have Storm just yet, a few seconds away. Okay, there they go. 1 Storm, 2 Storm, but it's not enough to shut down these Hydras, and probes are disappearing. Meanwhile, more Hydras towards the natural, and Hellraiser's just so out of position, he doesn't even try to come back home. He just types if our blue Protoss player, who is on the top right-hand side of the map from Izimba. Give it up if you're cheering on Hellraiser. Let's see if he can indeed tie this up. Start to make a series. The best of 5s we've seen so far today have both been 3-0s, it feels like. Yes, we saw the end of Reynor and Demago, which wasn't a 3-0. As at the bottom left-hand side, it is our red Zerg player from Prophecy Esports. It's Reynor. Is it WCS or WESG that Reynor can't play in? It's WCS. It's also, you also can't play in IEM, I think, as well, so not fun for him, not fun. Excellent on the chat using the Gorkbox command. Gives you a moment just to talk about that, perhaps. We see the Nexus and Hatchery coming down, the expansion play from both early. Will give us a moment or two to talk. Gorkbox is a way that you guys can donate on the stream without actually kind of costing you any money. It's primarily for kind of mobile apps, so basically you download mobile games, you play them, and you basically donate to the stream when you reach certain levels or when you complete the tutorial, stuff like that. But actually now you can also donate by kind of following, doing some YouTube stuff, like follow someone on YouTube or follow someone on Twitter. That's also a way to tip now as well. It's just kind of like, like 25 cents at a time for like a follow on Twitter or something, but it does all add up. So check it out with the exclamation mark Gorkbox in the chat. And Cyberfusion coming in for the Twitch Prime sub says, thanks for all the wonderful StarCraft 2 content. Well, thank you so much for the wonderful Twitch Prime subscription. Welcome to the family, and thank you for supporting the channel. Do really appreciate it. Let's get some Wardy Hearts in the chat for a brand new subscriber. Thanks for joining us, and welcome. Again, thanks for the kind words as well. Always does mean a lot. Always great to hear when you guys are have nice things to say and stuff like that. Makes you all warm and fuzzy inside. Well, Twilight Council coming up here, coming to be about halfway done in just a moment. And the depth starting to shade through the middle of the map and just coming across towards the lower left-hand side. Third hatchery starts up from Reynor. The first 3 minutes of this game, very standard. So we'll see what comes off the Fast Twilight. A Fast Twilight like this is something like a Dark Shrine potentially again, but no Robo just yet. There it is. Okay, so Robo comes down, so looking as though it will be the same build again. To be fair, the initial kind of DT's last game did a lot. And I felt Hellraiser was in a good position, just somehow his all-in, well, got shut down. Reynor just kept on making units. He didn't remake Workers too heavily. Although he actually is going to make Glaives here, so it isn't going to be for the Dark Shrine. Glaives it is, so changing it up a little bit. And going to be a bit more of an aggressive attack here this time. With those adepts, which will mass up in numbers very quickly and very easily. So then attack, attack, attack. And see what they can get up to. The Depths is shading around. And it's just going to be seeing the extra gates, and this really does just start to confirm exactly what is happening here for our Protoss player. He is indeed just going to be setting up into a whole bunch of extra gateways, and obviously that's going to be kind of going a long way. So extra gates, a lot of this going down, but look at this already. Reynor coming in to try and scout, but actually gets deflected, but only because he has another overload in the main. So he sees the gateways, he sees the Twilight running on around, and as he runs that on around, he's going to be able to well, basically identify what's going on. He actually drops the Bane Nest immediately, and even a Spine Crawler on the natural. I mean, stack defense isn't the best against Adept timings because Adepts are so mobile, they can just bypass the Spine Crawler, etc. So let's see how this is going to go. The attack here getting set up from Hellraiser. He's going to be kicking this off in the next couple of moments. Again, a few Banes are currently going to be on the way soon. It's going to be a big part of kind of defending here for Reynor. As Hellraiser, some extra Adepts warping in. And this is where it gets interesting, because this is where the Adepts start to shade around the Prism when you go towards the main base, as Adepts come towards the third. And they're going to be looking for those different locations to fight in and all the rest. Well, the Adepts could of course shade up and more Adepts warp in towards the third. There's so many different ways you can do this. But now the Adepts cancelling their shade, and just looking to see how that continues. Going to see the Lings and Queens going to fight. I mean, the Queens are a big part of getting enough damage output out to really fight against those Adepts. A little bit of a kind of aggression here. Reynor looking around to make sure those Adepts are not going to shade somewhere he hasn't got units in position to deal with them. More Adepts to the top side going to start shading through, but now Banes are here as well, and it looks as though Reynor has enough to really defend against this. The Adept shade from the top side cancels, and we are going to be seeing the setup here from Reynor is looking as though he's held on. 7 more Adepts, and so far, I mean, 38 to 34 workers, some damage has been dealt, but now there's already a lot of units up for Reynor, so you can afford to make a few more drones without being at risk of losing out. These Banes are going to be seen by the Adepts, so again, they can't really afford to commit, and, well, Queen's just taking the brunt of the damage right now, and they can transfuse each other very effectively, and so these Adepts are not really getting too much done at all. Adepts going to shade on by in towards the main base, see what they can do. Into the main base they go. See the first few Banes do blow up. I mean, the commitment here from Hellraiser, it's not even into a mineral line, and so the Lings, as they come in for the surround, well, they're going to trade pretty well to pick off a whole bunch of them. There's no choke point here to help the Adepts out, to minimize the surface area. They're not even picking off drones towards the third base. They'll finally start to get a couple once more. Reynor pulls away pretty quickly. Obviously, Reynor would love to get that Warp Prism, and you see that now with a lot of Queens, he'll go for it. It's going to go low, and it does go down. Warp Prism falls, and so this aggression really is starting to be cleaned up once and for all, as well, the number of Adepts that remain is pretty much 0 on this side of the map as well. And that means that Reynor truly has held on now. I mean, the follow-up here from Hellraiser is going to start building charge. But honestly, with a Bane line kind of set up already on the, already available, you can just morph in Banes, and you should very easily be able to defend here without really much of an issue. Lings are going to be moving on towards this kind of front, but they can't take access in towards the natural just yet. Lings pulling away to the side once more, and well, a few extra Spore Crawlers on the way up. Lai's about halfway done the +1 melee upgrade. Still just coming through on the Evolution Chamber on the natural. And the Dark Shrine from Hellraiser setting up in the main base as well. Charge is on the way on the Twilight. Again, it's a bit of a different follow-up, a potential transition here from Hellraiser to try and get into something a little bit different. So Devs actually cancel their warp in. Moving forward, Hellraiser will look to, well, again, I guess warp in Zealots and try and win out this game, but as Reynor sees this, he's going to see the Zealots on the low ground. He realizes his 4th hatch is under fire. I mean, not the end of the world if he loses the 4th hatchery. He cancels it here, because there is no 3rd base of his opponent, so he's still 1 base up, which is fine. Bane drop into the main base, and is Hellraiser paying attention? Yes, he is. He starts to pull away. Not a very fast Bane drop with the lack of Newitaz Carapace, so a long time to identify that, and he does only take 3 workers of damage, which isn't really too much at all. Attempting to warp in here as the Banes are arriving, though, and these units are not going to have anywhere to split, and that's why some of them just jump back into the Prism. And Bane are not even having to be used here in the end to actually force this back. As Hellraiser really doesn't have much else left. 3 more Hydras on the way out, higher muscular augments on the way, +1 melee is starting up as well on this natural. Queens again find themselves some damage onto the Prism. Don't quite kill it off just yet. Again, it low, pushing it away, it scares Hellraiser back. Hellraiser's still just looking around trying to do something, but again, so far, it's not looking pretty. Another few lings up top, maybe even just a ling drop into the main. Yeah, he actually just loads those up because there isn't a shield battery here to defend us. The War Prism does get sniped down, so that's going to be a pretty huge deal as these adepts are forced away. Well, here we go. Lings are going to drop in, gives them a lot more kind of ability to chase. Hellraiser's not even going to try and play it out any further. It's GG. He knows it's over, and Reynor picks up game victory here. He's just got an answer to everything that's happening so far, it seems. What will be thrown out next from our Blue Protoss player? To the bottom right-hand side from his Imber, it's Hellraiser. You two very aggressive builds in a row, by the way, like the Archon drop into 8-gate charge, followed by the just straight-up 8-gate Glaive Adepts. It was obviously a very, very aggressive setup here from our Protoss player. 2 games back-to-back, so we'll see if it's going to be more of the same. And to the top left-hand side, our red Zerg player from Prophecy Esports is Reynor. Just got told as well, by the way, that Reynor, Hellraiser, Bly, and Soul are now playing for a combined prize pool of about $1,000, up from about 850-ish that I think we had before. So the prize pool continuing to increase throughout the day. I'm not sure how they're doing it, but they must be fundraising it in some way. Either way, now $1,000 on the line, and well, the money increases with each round you win, of course. The victor of this goes to the finals. And there is a third place match as well involved in today's matches of the GG of the year 2017. So, and again, just as a reminder, we do Bly vs Soul as our series after Reynor and Hellraiser. We do that best of 5, then we do the third place match best of 5, and then the best of 7 grand final as well to wrap up the day. Kai Boy in the chat's having a party with all the homies. Feel free to fly to the US and join. Might be a little bit too late to fly to the US and figure out what's going on, you know. So yeah. Hint, she wants you to figure it out. Well, I mean, I can't figure it out if I don't know what the plan is. Like, she told me that this was her that was. She told me she was organizing it. So I don't know. If she doesn't tell me what's going on, it doesn't seem organized. I'm a tournament organizer, man. I'm used to knowing stuff in advance. I'm used to knowing what's going on. I'm used to constant communication. Can't deal with the lack of info. Anyways. You see Stargate thrown down from Hellraiser. A bit more of a macro-focused opening generally is what Stargate will lead you into. Just sort of allows for, you know, the next stages of the game to be set up very easily and all the rest. It just kind of, you know, it just really does kind of help you protect into a third nexus. It just promotes macro play more so than like 9 gateways, glaives, and adepts, right? So this Stargate on the way up. And we'll see exactly how Hellraiser plays it out over the next few minutes. As we do, you also just have the adept shading around and looking to see what's happening. Going to be not quite popping off there in the natural expansion. This Oracle is going to be chrono boosted and Hellraiser going to be getting it across the map nice and quickly. The Wolf Gate is currently about halfway done. Another gateway starting to build, and again, I imagine a fairly quick third nexus will be the way to go about this. With the Oracles up especially, they can help to defend the third nexus from attacks from Zerglings, etc., so you can keep it alive a lot more easily, which obviously helps out as well, as we are going to be seeing this adept all the way back home for now. Pneumatized Carapace is starting up on the natural expansion too. Another Spore Crawler just in the middle line as Reynor will prepare to defend. Double Queen in the main base will kind of save him one of his spores, or at least not make it as quickly. No third hatch just yet, so he doesn't have a spore over there, but soon I'm sure he will. Obviously there's no drones there that need protecting just yet either. And even if there was, you know, a couple popping out, it's only 1 or 2 compared to the, you know, 3, 4, 5 that would go down if there wasn't Spore Crawler protection in the main natural or wherever else this Oracle pokes, where there is a fully saturated mineral line. Another Oracle on the way up, and this Overlord and the other Overlord, actually 2 Overlords just scatting around in the main and natural, so these Overlords scanning around as this Phoenix is going to move on over to the left hand side. Twilight Council and the Robo facility on the way up, and the third Nexus coming up from Hellraiser as well, so going in towards the third Nexus, going in towards the Twilight and Robo. And just continuing to set on up. Here's a few Zerglings of Reynor. Going to come out and around the right-hand side of the map. A couple more Zerglings going to come down the left-hand side. Reynor continue to just start doing what Reynor does best. The run-bys, the aggression, and just being all over the place in the early stages. Hellraiser, though, does have these couple of Oracles up. We'll look to see maybe how he tries to defend these over the next, or use these over the next few moments. Already a few kills coming up on them. We're just going to have to get ready to start defending them a bit better than this, because that's already 6 drones, which is okay, but you can't allow that to happen too much more frequently, or you will fall into some trouble. Currently a 9-worker deficit, as Reynor does trail behind just slightly against Hellraiser here. Klingons coming out over to the right-hand side. On the main base, we do see the Phoenix is shutting down an Overlord as well, just trying to shut down further scouting information throughout the rest of this game. Big attack setting up though from Reynor, I have to say. There's quite a few units as we do see the Oracles coming in again. It's another 3 workers. Well, let's see how this goes as Reynor starts to come on through in towards this third base mineral line. Already a couple of sentries going to warp in and try and help defend. The Lings will jump on top of those units, but the force fields will be good to shut them down. But now the probes are kind of segregated from the rest of this. At the same time, it's Queens dropping in towards the natural expansion. And so aggression on either side. And oh no, the single pylon powering 3 of these gateways at the front goes down. I think that might just be how Reynor wins this game, because he's already continued to do so much more over here. Queens will not go down to probes, especially with transfusions available. Oh, well, will if you miss the transfuse. In the main base as well, though, I mean, more and more probes dropping. Hellraiser's down 40 workers already in this attack. And it's just continuing. These Queens are still going huge. They're still fighting things here. Once the Zell goes down, there's going to be nothing to stop them picking off more workers. Hellraiser realizing this, tries to pull away. Lings are going to loop back around towards the natural, perhaps the third. Yes, the issue is the sentries here can just stop them from getting out of the base. Wow, this was kind of hectic. I didn't think Reynor was actually bringing Queens across the map in the drop load. I completely missed this until it happened. So we are going to be seeing the Adept and a couple of sentries still picking away through that Queen, and the Queen does indeed drop. 2 more Queens just popping out over the left side, and you're also going to see this lair, this next hatchery coming up as well. A lot more Lings from Reynor going to come over to the right side, and well, already good damage done. I mean, going up 40 workers, I mean, I can't even do the math. It's 50 workers that he was up there for a moment. Such a huge lead for him, and now a whole bunch of Banes morphing in just to make sure if there is a counterattack that he can defend it. But you can see how in trouble Hellraiser is. He hasn't even repowered these gateways, the Robo, and all the rest of this here. The Oracles come back in as well, and that's going to be 4 workers killed. Honestly, these Oracles, I'm surprised they aren't. They went back at home to help out a little bit more during the last minutes. As we now see only one of them left alive. Hydrogen on the way up, and so the transition from Reynor into Lingbane Hydra overall, and just going to be seeing them sat on the third base. This Warp Prism still sat out in the center as well. Going to keep on moving and seeing where else it can go. And this Phoenix trying to shut down this Overlord. Oh well, you know what? If Bane's inside, may as well just drop on top of a sentry. If it's going to go down anyways, kills the sentry in the depth, and it's just even more damage being dealt. Hydra about to finish first. Hydra's on the way, and Reynor just playing the safety game, but it looks as though he's going to pick up the 3-0 to advance on through to take the victory, move through to the finals. Crazy, crazy stuff here. As Reynor has actually still got these Queens back. He's now spreading creep in the natural expansion of his opponent. Well, I mean, why not? He's got the lair up. He's got the Queens there. Well, I mean, way as well. Called, and there's just no way that Hellraiser makes this attack work. I think it was fairly obvious that he just did not have enough in this position.